Before this video gets started, I would like to quickly shout out 3 things. Number 1, if you would like to take a look at my Depop shop, I just added a ton of new clothes. Find my Depop shop in my link tree down below in the description, as well as with everything else. But the shop is just under Beth Gonzalez and Lyle and Scott, as well as some belts, accessories, Victoria's Secret bras, or even Outfitter accessories, a happy birthday Grimace shirt, and more. You feel free to check it out in my Depop shop at Beth Gonzalez, or you can check it out in my link tree down below. It would mean the world, US only, and shipping is included in all of the prices. The second thing is, if you guys would like to see my concert diary and log, where I keep track of almost every concert that I go to, you can follow my Twitter at Bethy Styles, BETHYYSTYLES. Also, I will be posting special announcements on there, including one that I will be posting at the end of this month. I have original new music and a single coming out really soon. Third announcement is I have been doing mini covers, which is basically taking a verse and chorus or a short part of a song that I like that I didn't want to film an entire YouTube video for, and I have been making them into little mini covers. I've been putting them on YouTube under YouTube Shorts. You can find them on my channel down below all the way at the bottom, or under the tab that says Shorts. And I also have them on my Twitter and my music Instagram, which is bethy.styles. You can also find it in my link tree. I just wanted to let you know because I also did a miniature Lana Del Rey guitar tutorial to Fishtail, which I know is your favorites, and I am coming up with some new covers, a Clara one, a Melanie Martinez one. I just posted a brand new U2 and David Bowie one. So if you guys would like to check out my miniature covers, it would mean the absolute world. This video I have been excited to film for a very long time, so I'm so excited you are here with me. We're gonna go ahead and get into my little version of As It Was, and then we're gonna get into the video. I love you guys. Please subscribe if you are new. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below because I love talking to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a sec.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. Want you to hold out the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that? Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way. Seems you cannot be replaced, and I'm the one who will stay. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same. Go home, get a headlight, speed in a night. I don't wanna talk about the way that it was. Leave America, 2 kids, follow her. I don't wanna talk about who's doing it first. As it was.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I am so happy to have you. It's vacation season. Some people are going to Europe, some people are going to London, and so I really wanted to make this video as soon as I could. I did get to study abroad twice with my university. The first time was during my sophomore year. I am very fresh off the experience, very excited to talk about it. This is a music channel, and London is just the place of music and art and culture, and I also interned and worked during my time this summer in London at a music PR agency. London was always my dream since I was a little girl. The study abroad program at my university is one of the main reasons why I chose to attend my university, because we have one of the best study abroad programs in the country, and it's so accessible. 80% of the students at my school studied abroad at some point in their 4-year career. During my whole junior year, I had a job, a student job, where I served as the London ambassador, which basically meant I was kind of the student liaison representing the London program. So I would help recruit kids. I would throw all kinds of events that were so much fun. I would lead orientations for the people going abroad, the 2 different classes. It was so incredible. There were 6 of us ambassadors that represented the 6 different programs. I wasn't planning necessarily on going abroad a second time. Applications started coming out, and because I worked in the office, I saw the applications. I heard them being talked about all the time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can go to London this summer and I can work there. And so that was really what made the experience something like 10 times more. It was just an incredible experience getting to see what it would be like to work in that city. Incredible opportunity to make friends with the people at my office, and I just really loved all of them. And I just came back, and it was the most incredible, best summer of my life, and I am extraordinarily thankful to everyone in the London program, the staff, all the people that I lived in the house with. I love you guys so much. Talk about some standout memories like I did in my first video, and then I'm also going to do a tips and tricks things. I'm really going to try to not make this video long, but I do want to include everything. The UK is my favorite place in the entire world. I went to a lot of countries, and no place in the world I've ever been to even tops or comes near the UK. First time I went, I took a ton of day trips to places like Oxford and Bath and Liverpool and Manchester and all those places. So this time I actually did get to do a few more day trips to places I had never been before, such as we visited Stonehenge, which was fun. It was just really cold that day. We visited Salisbury and the Chapel of Salisbury. We visited Cambridge, and we did punting on the water. That was probably my favorite day trip within England that we did, because Cambridge is such an adorable town. I loved it. I loved all the vintage shopping. I absolutely loved all the stores. They had like a Harry Potter wizard, like Halloween store, and you took a day trip to the Seven Sisters, which is Eastbourne and Seaford, like those 2 cities. The White Cliffs, so it's basically the White Cliffs of Dover, but just down more with more things to do in a really cute little seaside town. Got to see a lighthouse, which was always one of my dreams. I always used to talk about how much I wanted to go to Maine to see a lighthouse. Hopefully it's haunted. Hopefully. So I did a lot of these things called neighborhood walks, scenes of the city, and like explore the suburbs and neighborhoods of London. So I went to a heck ton of neighborhoods, and I would do it often by myself, and I would listen to music and just take walks and get my Joe and the Juice, which is my favorite place in the world. And I went to places this time like Hampstead Heath, which is such a nice, beautiful area. I did Angel at Islington, which is so cute. If you are going to London, go to Angel at Islington. It's adorable. I also went to Kingston, which I was excited about. My friends who are actually from England were like laughing at me, like, why would you want to go to Kingston? But I just wanted to go there, okay? I had heard that Stormzy and Tom Holland lived there, and I don't particularly like Tom Holland, but I was like, okay, so that's where the celebs be at. I also did Chelsea, which was such a cute area. Highly, highly recommend Chelsea, and I'm gonna talk more about the Notting Hill area when we get into thrifting. Also, a standout memory was that one of my childhood besties got to come visit me, and I got to show her, like, I mean, I had now been there in London for a span of like 8 months, right? So I got to show her all the places that I had accumulated love for during all that time. So I took her to Camden Market, which I love. Incredible shopping. Obviously, if you go to London, you will go to Camden Market. We went on the London Eye because she really wanted to do the London Eye. I have been on the London Eye 3 times, too many times. I don't need to go on the London Eye again. I love it. It's fun, but it's really expensive. So if you want to do the London Eye, if you're traveling to London, buy it ahead of time. And I also took her to Primrose Hill, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. If you are visiting London, you might not know about this because it's not like super touristy, but go to Primrose Hill. It is the most beautiful park area that you walk up, and it has views of the entire city. But below it is the cutest little town square area. I also took her to get tea at Fête Maison, which is my favorite place to get tea in the area that I lived in. And then we actually did something new. I love Hyde Park. I also live like against Hyde Park. So we rented bikes and we rode bikes through Hyde Park, and we did there's a like huge lake in Hyde Park, and we did the little like swan boats that you like paddle boats. It's a little bit about my job because I'm not going to go too into it, obviously for like privacy reasons. But if you guys are new here / don't know me, I'm studying journalism, but I am like specializing in music and entertainment journalism. I'm very lucky to have had multiple internships in the music industry, one in film, and I am interested in possibly living in London one day. So all of this was like super interesting to learn kind of the aspects of working in that city, not having a car, all these things, which I love, by the way. So my God, I would give up my car in 5 seconds to take a train everywhere. I love it so much better. Out of all the work experiences that I've had in the music industry, this was 100% my favorite one. I absolutely loved getting to write like press releases, and I got to go to a lot of events with them. They mainly specialize in festivals, and live concerts. So I was actually very lucky to go to Park Life with them, which was a music festival in Manchester. We were there for 3 days, and I will never forget it for the rest of my life. I remember just like, the 1975 were the headliners, and they're one of my favorite bands of all time, and we were like dancing to the 1975 in the little press area, and I looked up at the stars and I was like, what? How did I get here? Like, I'm in Manchester doing this. Well, I did a lot of press accreditation, the press box, escorts, things like that. I got to escort a family who like won tickets backstage from BBC One. I got to escort them backstage. I'll like do a picture. And I also did a lot of like monitoring like the photo pits. So basically like photographers who are taking pictures of the bands and the artists and things like that. Okay, next, 2 biggest like standouts / things I wanted to talk about was my out of country trip. So I knew I wouldn't get to go out of country when I had my job because you'd only get 2 days to go to a different place. That wouldn't make sense. But in May, England had a bank holiday, so we had like 3 days off, and we had the weekend. Got to go to Ireland, which was so exciting. I did everything that I wanted to do. I went to the Rock and Roll Museum, which was so cool, and it included entrance into Temple Lane Records, which is a recording studio in Ireland, which was amazing, and our tour guide was like the best. I did the Little Museum of Dublin, which is so cute. Highly recommend. It's kind of in the city center, and it's like actors and acting out all of the history of Ireland. You learn so much stuff, and they have pop culture rooms. They have a U2 room. It's super, super fun. And then I also did a trip to Northern Ireland, like a few hour bus ride up to Northern Ireland, and I got to go to Belfast, which is obviously so incredible because of all the history. And then I also got to go to the Titanic Museum, which was really cool. And I know that the Titanic is a topic now, but I've always been uber fascinated by the Titanic since I was like little, and also Titanic is one of my favorite movies of all time. It had a ride. It was so cool. The Titanic was built in Belfast, if you didn't know. I took a ghost tour in Dublin. I also got to check out Grafton Street, which is the most famous busking street in the world, which is basically like live music street. I had a solo day by myself, so I got to read my book in the little park outside of Dublin Castle. If you go to Ireland, I highly recommend that. So in Northern Ireland, I also got to go to Giant's Causeway, which is a beautiful coastal landmark. It was so beautiful. I loved hearing about all the like fairy tales. I love fantasy and fairy tales. The little pub that they have on the water. It's very crowded because it's a landmark. It's the only restaurant there, and it's so cute. It's a little tiny cottage restaurant that overlooks the water. It was beautiful. But I had salmon clam chowder with fries, or chips as they say, and it was so good. And listen, I don't ever talk about food. I did burn myself pretty severely on it though, because it came to me in an adorable little cauldron and I just couldn't wait. So I started eating it and I like burned myself. Anyways, well, I think Scotland and Ireland are tied for my favorite countries I've been to outside of England now. But one of the other massive standouts that I wanted to talk about was getting to see Harry Styles at Wembley Stadium. It was one of the top 5, I'm gonna say it, top 5 best days of my life. I can't stop smiling thinking about it. It was almost a month ago, the concert, and my front pitch thing is still on my hand. And I noticed it when I was walking up, and I saw the big Love on Tour sign, and I saw a little double-decker drive by, which you see 100 a day. But it was one of those moments where I was standing there. That was my dream since I was a little kid. And I owed it to my little self to do that and to get front pitch, which is like the front pit. To see One Direction in London. I used to like lie in my bed watching YouTube videos in like 5th grade and just dream about going to London and seeing them in concert and seeing them in their landscape. So it really was a dream come true. Like, be shocked I didn't go to more than one night. Like, I'm shocked that I didn't go to all 4 nights. No, I definitely splurged on my ticket, and I waited in line for around 9 hours. I got up super early in the morning and I waited in line. I got to make a ton of new friends. It was so much fun. I was in like the 3rd row, so it paid off. The picture I took of him was my screensaver. And I think it was also super cool because he talked about his mom and dad being in the audience. Gemma was in the audience, and there was fireworks. I did make a sign. My sign on the front said, "I came from LA all the way for you." I have been to many a Harry Styles concert. I've been to many, I don't even want to begin to count them. Love on Tour alone, I went to 6 shows. And this was the best Harry Styles concert I've ever been to. And my parents asked me why. It's really hard to explain. It was the venue, it was the magic of the fireworks while he was singing Sign of the Times, and he was right in front of me. You have to be like a fan to understand. It was an out-of-body spiritual experience. I could not stop crying. I was like, my life was flashing before my eyes. I was thinking of like my family, like every kind of emotion I could have been having was having. When the fireworks were going off, just like shooting off, everyone was looking at the fireworks, and I looked at him and I just saw him like kind of smirk while he was playing, and I could just tell like, this is history. This is a moment he will never forget. This is a moment music history will never forget. And I was just really proud of him. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm just gonna talk about some smaller things, but I did see some shows while I was there. Obviously, you know, London is known for the West End. They have the best theater in the world. I saw Mousetrap, which is an Agatha Christie murder mystery play. I got to see Phantom of the Opera, which was incredible. One of my favorite musicals of all time, and I loved it. My favorite musical of all time is Wicked, which I've seen multiple times and I already saw in London, so I didn't re-see it. I also got to see Frozen, which was so cool. I think that was my favorite musical I saw. A really special, awesome show that I got to see was a Hans Zimmer versus John Williams concert at the Royal Albert Hall. So Royal Albert Hall is one of the most iconic music venues in the world, and it is right across the street from my house. Like, I can see it from my bedroom window, and I had never been, and I was like, Beth, you cannot live this close to the Royal Albert Hall and not see something there. It is known for orchestral music, so I really wanted to see an orchestra show there, and it had always been one of my dreams to see John Williams in concert. Like, this wasn't John Williams, but it was so cool. It was the City of London Orchestra, and they played John Williams scores, Hans Zimmer scores, and it was breathtakingly beautiful. Tears were shed. I think out of the whole concert, my favorite set was the E.T. score. That score, for some reason, does things to me. It's so gut-wrenching. Like, one more thing that was a stand-up memory / recommendation is to go to the Hendrix Handel House. So you could actually go into Jimi Hendrix's apartment. It's only like £9 as with the student like price. Highly recommend it. I'll put a picture. This is me in Jimi Hendrix's apartment. So cool. If you love music, if you love music history, so freaking cool. There was just so much. I love Fire Project. There's so much. This video is gonna be 9 hours long, but that was really, really cool. This was like my side job, but I got to freelance for a Harry Styles documentary that was being made for UK Channel 5. Did like a lot of Harry Styles documents, like I broke up his career in like 30 main points, blah, blah, blah. I found fans from all across the world who had stories to tell about how Harry has changed their lives. I got filmed for it multiple times. They used me for my knowledge about everything Harry, his childhood to now. So I just basically like wrote documents for them and like helped them organize all their Harry Styles stuff. And I also got to find a lot of cool people to get involved in the project. So now I'm gonna do a really, really quick like fire round of suggestions, really random specific suggestions if you ever go to London, if you're going to London. First thing, Megan's. It's a Greek restaurant. I really liked it, and I got the Greek salad. I love Greek salad. It's one of my favorite foods. It was so good. 2, docu, which is in Whole Foods in Piccadilly. If you Google it, you can find it. It's open pretty late at night, and it's basically dough, like cookie dough balls. 3, the Waterloo Book Fair that is open every single day from 11 to 2. They don't just have books, they also have vinyl, they have posters. I bought a fairy tale book, I bought a book for my baby cousins, and I bought 2 vintage posters of the Rolling Stones. Well, one of Mick Jagger and then one of the Rolling Stones. And then another really quick recommendation is Jack the Ripper tour. If you are into true crime, super touristy, it was pretty much all Americans, but I have actually been in communication with one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Jingle Jangle. I've watched her for years, and we've been DMing and like talking and whatever, texting, and she told me I had to do it. And you also get to see Whitechapel, like the area of London that it happened in. Another thing is Club Mexicana in the Seven Dials Market. The Seven Dials Market is next to / inside of Covent Garden, which is my favorite area in the world. That's kind of like our spot. We would be in Covent Garden almost every single day. There's a place in there called Club Mexicana on the 2nd floor by the desserts. It is so good. It is completely vegan Mexican food, and you guys know me, Mexican food is my favorite genre, and that's something that lacks in England. And I had vegan like beef nachos, incredible. Loved it. Go there. if you like vegan food. Also, my favorite dessert in the world is also in Covent Garden, and it's Lauderdale, which is the macaron place. I don't want to say it wrong, but those are so good. They are expensive though. Thing, really quick shout outs is for thrifting. If you love clothes like me, I bought basically a whole new wardrobe when I was in London both times, which is bad. First spot is Brick Lane. It was not my favorite thrifting, but it was cool. I recommend checking it out. Someone at my job told me about that one. 2, Portobello Market in Notting Hill was my favorite place ever. I would have spent all my money there if I could have. It is massive. It is every single day. So it's basically what Notting Hill is. It's just this market. And it's not just clothes. I got a little moon and sunshine candle there, and I got Alice in Wonderland earrings. So there is a store in Soho called Pop Vintage. I really like that store. They have a student discount, and it's a lot of 60s and 70s vintage gowns. I got 2 of them. They are so cute. Pop Vintage. Go there. Next recommendation is Kin Store, K-I-N. This is in Notting Hill as well. Really cute vintage store. They have a lot of corsets, denim, patchwork, and a lot of jewelry. I ended up getting a little Christmas crop top, which is random, but that's what I got there. And that is in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea. And another thing is thrifting in Brighton. Brighton is the seaside town that's like an hour away on the train. I didn't go there this time. I went there the first time, and I got to thrift a really awesome 70s dress. Really small segment of tips and tricks from that are just more general. Number 1, grocery shop. Going out to eat every single day when you study abroad gets so expensive. And this is the most specific recommendation I could give you. This is so specific, you're gonna wanna be like, click off. These chips, these are like BBQ, like spicy chips. These are my favorite chips in the world. I have these all the time, and then when I was getting on the plane home, I got like 4 to eat on the plane. They're so good, and I got a bunch of my friends turned on to them. I also have a really good smoked salmon and cream cheese sandwich at Pret because they have really no vegetarian options or pescatarian except for that. I love that. Smoked salmon is like my favorite food. I had smoked salmon on literally everything in England. Next thing, to buy train tickets sooner rather than later. They get more expensive literally by the day on Trainline, the website. And this is my biggest tip about study abroad. You chose to go there for a reason, and yes, your friends are amazing and incredible and we love community, but at the same time, this is your experience. If you want to go somewhere or you want to do something that no one else wants to do, go do it by yourself. Abroad is an amazing time to grow independently, grow maturity, all of these things. You will not regret it. You will regret it more if you don't do things. Also, this is a tip from my friend who studied abroad, is do not be afraid to say no. Studying abroad, there are times when group mentality happens and everyone wants to go do things that you may not be comfortable with. So don't feel pressured to go out and do things. I know that in Europe, people are legal to drink at 18. I do not drink. I do not like going to clubs. That is just not my vibe. Everyone is free to do what they want to do, but you have the ability to be comfortable with what you want to do. Another thing, take vitamin C every day. Traveling abroad is taxing. It's easy to get sick and to get a cold, especially when you're studying abroad. Things at the grocery store that were called Boost C, and they had vitamin C and zinc, and they were little tiny tablets that you pop in your water bottle. I would drink those all the time. Another tip, this is personal to me and my thoughts, is buy a water bottle there and throw it out when you leave. I literally bought a 2-pound water bottle from Waitrose that was plastic and was a piece of trash, and I drank out of it every day, and it was perfect. Took it to work, everything. I put some stickers on it to personalize it, some Slytherin stickers, my house and Harry Potter. And then I threw it away the day that I left. A travel tip from my friend. She said, be at peace. Set your mind sight and see the bright side even when things go wrong. When plans and travel goes wrong, take time to explore your home country and appreciate exactly where you are. You don't have to tire yourself out every weekend and feel connected to your host country. Don't rush to the next thing. Enjoy where you are. If you don't get to everything, that is okay. I think that is a good tip. I'm guilty of this too. Rush culture, always thinking ahead, always worrying. But really, plans change, flights will get canceled, things will get frustrating. It's fine, we'll figure it out. And that's more productive than freaking out, crying, screaming. How things are in the real world. Next thing, get a converter charger. This is big picture to small picture. Get a converter charger. Yeah, you get a charger for England or Italy or wherever you're studying abroad, but then other countries you travel to are even more different. So there are different ones where you can switch it by country. Bring fancy stuff, not just all comfy. I know when people study abroad, they just think of bringing the comfy stuff. That's fine. But I know from a friend who I had who studied abroad in Italy, and then from a lot of my friends who visited Italy a lot more and went to clubs, that they won't even even let you in if you're wearing like jeans and tennis shoes. They have different standards, it's different culture. That is everything that I have for you. Please keep in mind that there's probably 8 million things I am forgetting. If you have any questions or if you want to know anything else, just please comment down below and check out my older videos in the description. I'm sure I mentioned different things. Incredibly long. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much. I feel very Barbie today. Are you guys seeing the Barbie movie? Me and my cousins have matching outfits. Literally matching outfits, and it's all Barbie stuff to go to the Barbie movie. I really think I'm excited. I'm hopefully it lives up to the hype. But I mean, it's Margot Robbie. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you in my next video. Look at my brand new Harry necklace that I wear every day. It's from Camden Market. There was a girl who had a booth of all homemade Harry Styles stuff, and I was like, you're my soulmate.
It takes a 1 in a million to not let them kill